On a small tree-lined slope in the quiet countryside of Japan, people saw the same sight every day. A fluffy, light golden dog sitting silently. Rain or shine, through white winters and sweltering summers, the dog remained there, its eyes always fixed on the distance, down a dusty road that led out of the village. They called him Shiro, meaning white, though his fur had long turned sunburnt and weathered. Shiro wasn't a stray, nor was he abandoned. He had an owner, but that owner had left this world 10 years ago. Since that day, Shiro never left. He simply waited, so patiently, so faithfully, that the entire village grew moved by his presence. No one had the heart to drive him away. But this is not just a tale of a dog waiting for its master. Behind it lies a journey filled with tears, love, loss, and sacrifice. A powerful reminder that loyalty needs no words. It only needs time to be proven. Chapter 1. The Happy Days. Shiro was a birthday gift for Hiro, a 10-year-old boy living with his grandparents in the countryside. Hiro had a congenital heart condition. He was frail and couldn't run or play like the other children. He often sat by the window watching them from afar, his eyes full of longing. Seeing their grandson's loneliness, Hiro's grandmother brought home a tiny puppy. "He'll be a companion for you," she said. From the first meeting, Shiro ran up and licked Hiro's hand, his tail wagging like crazy. Hiro smiled, a rare smile in his long days of illness. From that day on, Shiro and Hiro were inseparable. Every morning, Shiro fetched Hiro's slippers. When Hiro studied, Shiro lay quietly by his feet. When Hiro grew tired, Shiro became his pillow. One night, Hiro developed a high fever. It was Shiro who barked wildly, waking the grandparents in time to get help. Shiro wasn't just a pet, he was a guardian angel. Even the doctor said, "This dog is the reason the boy has lived longer than anyone predicted." Chapter 2. The Tragedy. When Hiro turned 15, his condition worsened. The family decided to take him to Tokyo for treatment. On the day of departure, Hiro hugged Shiro tightly and whispered into his ear, "Wait for me, okay? I'll come back." Shiro followed the family all the way to the edge of the village, up the little hill. His eyes tracked the car as it disappeared behind the trees. That night, Shiro didn't return home. He lay at the same spot, head turned toward the dusty road. A week passed, then a month, then 5. No one expected what came next. Hiro never returned. The frail boy breathed his last in a hospital bed. He didn't survive the surgery. His family returned in grief, but they couldn't bring themselves to tell Shiro. Hiro's grandparents, growing old and fragile, eventually moved to the city with their daughter. They couldn't bear to stay in a place filled with painful memories. Only Shiro remained. Chapter 3. 10 years of waiting. A symbol of the village. Every day the villagers saw Shiro at the same spot, right where Hiro had left. At first they thought he'd eventually move on, but over time they understood. Shiro was still keeping the promise, still waiting for his little master to return. The villagers cared for him. One brought food, another water. Someone else placed a tarp over him when it rained. One day a child asked, "Why doesn't Shiro leave?" An old vendor smiled. "Because he remembers the friend who once promised to come back." As the seasons passed, Shiro visibly aged. His fur turned gray, his eyes clouded, his legs trembled. But his gaze never changed, still fixed down that dusty road. Then one freezing winter morning, Shiro was no longer there. Chapter 4. The Promise Fulfilled. They found Shiro beneath the old tree on the hillside. He had passed peacefully, as if asleep. Around his neck was the same worn scarf Hiro once tied. Next to him, paw prints stamped into the dirt, evidence of a lifetime of waiting. The village held a farewell ceremony for Shiro, like saying goodbye to a beloved family member. The elderly wept. The children stood in silence. They erected a small stone statue on the slope, with the inscription, "Shiro, a symbol of loyalty, waiting a lifetime for one person." Epilogue. What Shiro left behind. Shiro's story makes many wonder. In a world rushing forward and constantly changing, do we still keep our promises? Do we still love unconditionally, like a little dog waiting on a hillside? Shiro needed no reason to be loyal. All he needed was a heart and a promise. Love, even between human and dog, can be so powerful it transcends the boundary between life and death. And sometimes the smallest things, like the quiet gaze of a waiting dog, teach us the greatest lessons about loyalty and love without conditions.